Hi everyone, welcome to the Gypsy Caravan. I'm Shan. How you doing? Today, let's get ready for dinner. I'm doing a color block smoky eye, which is basically just two colors that don't belong together but belong together now. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my primer using a JH30 brush and this nudie color called Poof. I'm slowly working out of my dark magic palette today, excuse me, because it has all the colors that I need and I really just love this palette. So just taking that fluffy brush, I'm just going to set the primer. I'm going to buff it in from inner corner to outer corner and from the lash line up into the brow bone. Next we're going in with a smaller fluffy brush. This is a JH33, and for my transition shade today I'm going to go in with 3 H's, and we are just going to buff this into the crease area, just using a light hand and windshield wiper movements. I'm just going to buff this color into the crease. I do want all the intensity to sit in the crease, and obviously to prevent the smoky eye from looking like I got beat up in the eye, I'm going to actually keep the color quite low today. I'm not going to do a full blown out dramatic smoky eye, but I do need something down first to help the rest of the eyeshadows blend out more seamlessly. So that's why I'm going in with this color first. I am looking also to keep the overall eye look very cool toned, so that's why I'm using this grayish brown shade. And then just to diffuse the edges, I'm going back in with that big fluffy blending brush that we used to set our primer with. Next I'm going to go in with this emeraldy green shade. It's called Inside Job. I'm taking it on the JH33 brush again, and again we're going to put this into the crease. I do want, like I said, all the dimension and depth of the smoky eye to be in the crease. With this being quite a dark matte shade, I'm going to push the product into the crease first, and then as the product begins to leave the brush is when I will start to blend it out. So you can see I've pushed it all in, and now I'm slowly working back and forth to just soften the edges and slowly start to blend this eyeshadow out into that initial transition shade that we had applied. I'm going to use a light hand as always. I'm going to work in back and forth motions as well as circular motions so that it's seamless, there's no choppy lines, there's no jagged areas, and that we have a very smooth and seamless edge. Also, like I said, I'm not going to be taking this very far up onto my lid. I want to keep everything quite low down in the crease area, because essentially the lid color of this look is what I want to stand out and what I want to pop. Then going back in with a big fluffy blending brush again, just to go over the edges so that it's very smooth, very seamless, and that we don't have contrasting lines between the two eyeshadows. The next eyeshadow I'm going in with is this beautiful blue. It's called Busted, and I'm taking this on a packing brush, a JH41 to be specific, and I'm going to push this into the lid and then slowly join it up into the crease. I want all the color and opacity to be on the lid. I am also taking my time in pushing this color down because essentially it is a matte. It doesn't always blend out the first time. Mattes can tend to be a little bit patchy as well when pushing the product in. So just be sure to take the time to push the product in on your lid first and then go in later and blend it out. I do go in a couple of times with this eyeshadow to really make it look vibrant and stand out. Initially, if you want to work smarter, not harder, not like myself, is to not set your primer and keep it quite tacky. Your eyeshadow will hold better. I set my primer because I prefer to blend over packing. That's just my preference. So I'm just going to pack that color in all over the lid, and then once we meet the crease or join up in the crease, you can either pick up more of that Inside Job or a little bit of Busted on that JH33 brush or your medium blending brush that you have, and slowly just blend out those two colors in the crease together. The blue is going to be a little bit more overpowering than that green that we initially put down, but essentially your crease area will still be very, very dimensional and a little bit deeper in color compared to your lid, and that's essentially what you want. So just blend out Busted, and then you're going to go in with that big fluffy blending brush once again to go over everything to make it quite smooth. That is just essentially my process when it comes to a smoky eye, is to get different variations of brushes involved, because in having the different size brushes with the different kinds of fluffiness, you are creating a very soft, very seamless gradient effect in your eyeshadow, and that's what makes or lends itself to a smooth, smoky eye. So this is what the eye should look on the top. And now we're going to go in with an eyelash curler so that we can curl our lashes. This is just one that I picked up at a drugstore from Clicks. Just curl your lashes however you do, or don't curl your lashes, whatever you prefer. I'm going in with false lashes today, so always curl my lashes before doing that. The mascara I'm going in with for my top lashes is the Fenty Full Frontal Mascara. I absolutely love this mascara. It's super black in formula and really great for creating separated natural looking lashes, but also creating quite a decent amount of volume if that's what you are after. I do like the wand of this mascara because it creates great curl in your lashes as well. The lashes I'm going in with today are my Ardell Wispies, and I'm going to be applying them with Dual Lash Glue. There we go, super natural but super dramatic-ish at the same time. Moving on to skin prep, I'm going in with some Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist. I do want a little bit of hydration and glow in my skin since my skin has been quite dry these last few days, so quick spritz of that. My primer for today, because I want glowy-ish skin, I'm going in with my Physicians Formula Spotlight. This does create a very nice glowy, not quite metallic, but quite a shiny glow in the skin. I wouldn't recommend this if you're oily, but definitely if you have dry skin. I have gone back to falling in love with this foundation again. This is the Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation. I'm going to be applying it with a brush first. This is a 170 brush by MAC, and then I'm going to be blending it out later with a damp beauty sponge. That's the one from Real Techniques. Like I said, I've fallen in love with this foundation again. It was always a favorite of mine, but I've just recently fallen in love with it again. It has amazing coverage. It's like a medium to full coverage. It gives the skin quite a nice glow because apparently the foundation has a little bit of a serum in it. So it does create a really nice skin-like finish whilst being hydrating and glowy, but it lasts so long. Like, weird reference, I was crying on New Year's Eve and I was wearing this foundation and it didn't even streak. So that's how amazing the foundation is, just if you're curious. I applied it with a brush, but now I'm blending it out with a sponge. This is just going to pick up any excess, but also just smooth out any streaking or weird imperfections that are maybe left with my brush. It also creates a more natural finish by pushing it in with a damp sponge, just by the way. Going in with concealer now, I'm just using my Studio Fix Concealer by MAC. I'm just going to highlight the inner corner and outer corner of my eye. I don't really need coverage per se. I'm just using a lighter concealer to brighten up that under eye area. I find most of the time when I do a smoky eye like this, it just naturally makes my under eyes look a little bit dull. So I'm just going to use that to brighten up the area rather than conceal. The brush I'm using is this Ray Beauty concealer brush. Normally I would go in with the damp beauty sponge, but for some reason, again, I've fallen in love with this brush. I go back and forth between this and the 270 by MAC, but for some reason this has just been my go-to brush recently. It's an amazing shape, it's an amazing density, and it just blends out the concealer beautifully. Like I said, with that weird shape, it gets into that inner corner perfectly without disturbing the makeup underneath and around it. It's a really great shape, and it's perfect for blending out the concealer. It's not too dense that it won't blend out anything, but it's not too soft as well that it just kind of moves the product around. It's a really great brush, and I would recommend it if you are looking for a concealer brush. So while I'm going to let my concealer dry down, I'm going to move on to my eyebrows, and there we go. If you're looking for a brow routine, I have one on my channel that you can follow. It's the same brows that I did here pretty much, if you are curious. I am now going to set my concealer with a setting powder. This is technically a foundation powder, but I've been really enjoying it to set my face recently. It's the Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation Powder, and I'm just going to use a puff to set that in. Moving on to the under eye area, I'm just using the exact same colors that I did on the top for the bottom. I'm just switching up my brushes. This is a JH40 brush, and it's specifically for blending out or smoking out eyeliners and eyeshadows. Essentially, I wanted the contrast to come in with my waterline. I wanted the top lid to be more bluey, like a very deep sea blue, and then I wanted my waterline to be like this really vibrant emerald green. And because Inside Job just wasn't doing it for me, I decided to take a bit of potion on an eyeliner brush. This is a JH43, and just bring in some of that green. I didn't want it to be too far off the color scheme of the eye, but I just felt like I needed a little bit more green underneath the eye to really make this a color block look, if that makes sense. For my bottom lashes, I went in with my Extended Play mascara. It's just a great thin wand to get into those bottom lashes. Of course, you can use it for your lashes all around, but I really like it for my bottom lashes, so I just went in with that. Then for like a contour bronze moment, I went in with this Collection contour bronzing powder by MAC. It's in the shade Delicates. I'm taking it on a 168 brush by MAC, and I'm just going to kind of contour bronze my face, if you will. I didn't want to put too much makeup on around my face, but I feel like I just need to create angles in my face because I have a round face, and if I don't contour, I just look straight up round and it's not pretty. I really enjoy my angles, so I'm just gonna contour bronze my cheeks, the side of my nose, my forehead, especially underneath my chin, like my jawline, because I feel like that's where I just need shadow and angle. My highlighter of choice today is the Extra Dimension Skinfinish in the shade Beaming Blush. And I'm going to use a Real Techniques 402 setting brush to apply this to just my cheek area. I really like this highlighter because it has a almost coppery rose gold finish, which is beautiful and ties in really well with the shirt I decided to wear this evening, which had a really nice pretty gold rose goldy shine to it. So that's the reason why I went in with this highlighter. I'm just highlighting the tops of my cheeks with this 402 brush, and then I took a JH32 big fluffy brush to highlight and emphasize my brow bone, and then swapped over to a JH42 small shader brush to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. This is the completed look. I forgot to film the lip gloss that I used, but essentially it was the Bouncing Beige Lip Oil by Revlon. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already.